Hey guys, I'm the flexibility guy, Coach Elia, and in this video I'm going to show you the best 6 exercises you can do for your hips and legs flexibility. If someone asked me where to start with his or her flexibility journey, these exercises I'm going to show you would certainly be at the top of my list. The hip joint has different degrees of motion. It can move in flexion, extension, adduction, abduction, internal rotation, external rotation, and a combination of all these movements. It is thus a very good idea to select stretching exercises that focus on all these aspects rather than randomly selecting exercises where you feel the stretch. You may have some ranges of motion stiffer than others, and this is exactly the point. By combining different stretches, you'll get to know your body better and work specifically on your weak points. Before I start though, if you want to have all these exercises well summed up in a print-ready PDF, check out the link down below and download your hip and mobility routine so you can always bring it with you. Alright, that's it. Let's see the top 6 exercises for your hips flexibility now. Exercise number 1, the 90-90 stretch. This is one of my favorites. With this exercise here, you're going to work on your glutes, adductors, hamstrings, and hip stabilizers flexibility, combining 2 hip movements called internal and external rotation. These 2 movements stretch the deepest muscles inside of your hips, making your legs and hips move freely and with less, let's call it, friction. To perform the 90-90 stretch, you do want to start seated on the floor with your legs wide apart. You want to have your knees spread really wide apart and your feet in line with your knees. So as you can see, you're forming a 90-degree angle on your knees. Now from this position, you want to start with your hands behind your glutes and press your body forward. You do want to create pressure on your hips. At this point, you do want to drive one knee in and one knee out. All right. So at first, you do want to push one knee out and then you follow with the knee in. At this point, you want to do this. You want to bring the knee in up and you want to spread your knees as wide apart as possible, but only with the knee in first. Then, as you reach your max level of stretch, you want to start also with the knee out and bring the other knee up. So you come back into the 90-90 position and you essentially repeat the same kind of thing on the other side. Some really important details here. You do want to constantly push your body forward. So press your trunk toward your legs. When you feel comfortable in this stretch, you can try it also without your hands. Just make sure that you are pushing your body forward at all times. The second exercise is the wall hip flexors stretch, better known as couch stretch. This is excellent for your hip flexors, the muscles you have in the front area of your leg, and that may limit your hip mobility. You want to start with your back knee against the floor and against the wall on a support, but you do want to start slightly away from the wall. Then as you get better and better, you can push your knee further and further toward the wall until you got the knee on the floor and against the wall. Now with the other leg, you want to make a lunge until you got your front shin bone perpendicular to the floor. At this point, what you do want to do is this. Maybe you want to use a stick. But you want to start with your trunk flexed toward your front leg. The back knee is against the wall, the back foot is against the wall. You want to drive your trunk up, all right? You want to keep your hips well pressed against the wall. So hips against the wall, front leg in a lunge. Don't move your front knee out, keep your front knee in. And now it's all about the trunk. You want to lift the trunk up toward the wall. The more you do that, the more you're going to stretch your hip flexors, more in particular, your quad muscles. The third exercise I want to show you is for your adductors, and it's called the tailor pose or butterfly pose. To perform this exercise, you want to sit down on the floor with your back against the wall. You want to join your feet together in front of your hips, so the soles of your feet should touch each other, and you want to bring your feet in front of your hips. Now you put some weights and your hands on your knees and you push your knees down toward the floor. The more you do that, the more you're going to stretch your adductors and your hip external rotation. So really good stretch also for the deepest muscles of your hips. Use the weights only if needed. So if with the hands you feel the stretch correctly, but you gotta push, I must say, you gotta push your knees down, but if you feel the stretch correctly like that, then no need for the weights. But if you feel that the weights help you get deeper into the stretch, definitely use the weights. You do want to press your knees down, relax your adductors until you got your knees touching the floor. This is a really good standard here. Fourth exercise, and I want to keep the adductor stretch trend, we have the frog stretch against the wall. This one is a must if you want to start working on your hip abduction and adductors flexibility. To perform this stretch, you want to lie down on your back with a wall in front of you, also without the wall, but the wall is more comfortable and also you can adjust your technique better. You want to put your feet against the wall and you want to create a 90-degree angle on your knees. So your feet must stay on the same line as your knees. You want to spread your knees wide apart and you want to arch your back a little, because the more you spread your legs apart, the better if you arch your back a little. Now, you want to put some weights on your knees. Now, this time you want to use the weights because the only pressure of your hands won't be enough to let you go into a very good stretch. So, weights on your knees and now spread your knees apart. A little tip I can give you, squeeze your glutes a little. As you go into the stretch, you want to squeeze your glutes a little as if you wanted to move your legs apart thanks to the contraction of your glutes. This is going to make you feel more comfortable in the stretch and you're gonna feel more relaxed as well, so you can open your legs more. Make sure that the weights aren't too heavy so you can just get deeper and deeper into the stretch thanks to the assistance of the weights. Also, you want to make sure to push a little bit with your hands as well, so use those hands to push your knees down. Fifth exercise, and I want to say not for importance, as this one is really one of my favorites, we have the long lunge stretch. This is beautiful because it allows you to work on your hip flexion, your hip extension, stretching a lot of muscles, and I'm talking about your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, and most importantly, your iliopsoas. To perform this exercise, you want to start in a lunge position. So one leg straight behind you, one leg in front of you in a lunge position. But then you want to extend your front leg a little more and put your front foot against something, a weight, a wall, whatever. Now, from this position here, you want to keep your front knee in and drive your hips down toward your front heel as deep as you can. Now, also here, the only force of gravity won't be enough to let you feel the correct sensation of stretch. So use some weights to get deeper and deeper into the stretch. Drive those hips down. Drive those hips down. Reach down with your hips. Feel the stretch in the bottom position. Stay there for a couple of seconds. Come back up. You can repeat this movement dynamically, so going deep into the stretch and coming back up. And you can also stay there statically. So you go down, you hold that stretch for longer. 10, 20, 30 seconds is what I suggest you do. Last exercise I want to show you, the weighted pike stretch. A lot of people know this stretch, but still, a lot of them miss some important flexibility gains here. The reason behind that is that they don't use a weight. If you use a weight here, you're going to feel the difference. And I'm going to show you a couple of strategies that really work. Now, you want to stand up on a chair, on a box, whatever. You want to make sure that you got nothing under you. You want to grab a weight, legs straight, back straight, and reach down. You want to let the weight pull your body down. Keep your legs straight at first. Then, a couple of strategies. You can bend and extend both legs together, and this is going to work on your hamstrings flexibility, glutes flexibility, because when you bend your legs, you kind of remove the calves from the stretch, so you're gonna focus the stretch more on your hamstrings and on your glutes. Or you can also bend and extend one leg at a time, and this, I really love this. This is my favorite. So you can bend and extend one leg at a time, all right? And this is going to focus the stretch on your straight leg, decrease the stretch on your bent leg, so you're gonna feel all the tension all in one leg. So you got, also if you got one stiffer side, you're gonna feel it, and you're gonna fix it because you're gonna put more tension there. All right, so bend and extend your legs here to make more flexibility gains. Alright guys, so these are the top 6 exercises you can do to improve your hip flexibility and mobility. But I know that now you're thinking about how many times per week should I do that? Because I always get a lot of comments about that. Now, I suggest you hold the stretching positions for 20 to 30 breaths, 2 to 3 sets per exercise, and repeat this routine 2 to 4 times per week. This is going to be ideal and easily manageable. But remember, you can download your hip flexibility routine through the link down below. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed the content, and let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions or just to say hello. I'll appreciate you so much. With that said, have a nice stretch.
Hey, if you want to improve your legs, hips, lower body flexibility in general, and you also want to master the splits, in this book you can find all the exercises you need. This is called Split Sacking, and you can find it on Amazon right now.